Good morning. Welcome to Tea Time with Tanya. I'm Tanya. How you doing today? Today is Wednesday, the 20th of April, 2022. It's 420, y'all. If you are if you imbibe, have a wonderful 420, everyone. Okay, let's start this off with a blessing, shall we? Dear universe, dear spirit guides, dear creator, dear ancestors, please give us a blessing for this Wednesday, the 20th of April, 2022. Oh my goodness. Look at this tree with the star in it. We get the blessing of creativity. Express yourself creatively and reconnect with your inner child. As ideas and inspirations surface, express them without thought, censorship, or judgment. Don't try to make sense of things. Just allow, just feel, just be. This is a time where all is possible. You are limited only by what you think is impossible. Namaste. Good morning, everyone. Let me read this blessing to you one more time. The blessing of creativity. Express yourself creatively and reconnect with your inner child. As ideas and inspiration surface, express them without thought, censorship, or judgment. Don't try to make sense of things. Just allow, just feel, just be. This is a time where all is possible. You are limited only by what you think is impossible. Namaste. Good morning. Open your hearts and minds. Receive that blessing. Good morning, everyone. Okay, let us jump right into this reading. My first question is from Linda R. And Linda would like to know, will Congress pass laws to ease the taxation of the middle class? I know, I feel you, Linda. Me and my wife, our taxes issue, and we don't make over $70,000 a year combined, and we have to pay over $1,000 back to um to the IRS. It's ridiculous. While multimillionaires pay zero, nothing, $42, okay, and they're not paying anything. We get taxed to death. So this question. I feel you, Linda. This is a personal question for me as well. Will Congress pass laws to ease taxation on the middle class? Here we go. Yes, fourth card. And what it looks like is that there's already something in the works. Yes, yes. Okay. The first card we get on this question, Linda, is the Two of Cups, the partnership card. This is being spoken about. This is being worked on, directly worked on. People understand the problem. Again, it's being this is being discussed. People are trying to come up with ways to reverse what was done during 45's administration, that literally put all the taxes for that $1 trillion rich people subsidy right back on our shoulders. So if you're wondering why you're paying $1,000, $2,000 when you used to get back a little something, it's because the millionaires got a great big tax break and we are paying for it. But Congress is working on a plan to bring taxation back to a place where it's supposed to be and to force the ultra rich, the wealthy, and the ones who are just generally skipping out on paying federal income taxes to bring them back into, I'll call it the fold, but to bring them into the responsibility of paying their fair share. And that's what it comes down to. Yes, Linda, Congress is working on ways to bring about a fairness with taxation and to make the ultra rich, the wealthy, period, pay their fair share. My next question is from vcoolwater. And vcoolwater wants to know, or well, vcoolwater's question was a little bit different. So I changed her question a little bit, vcoolwater. I'm going to ask it this way. Is Elon Musk trying to build a monopoly to control electric battery production? Is Elon Musk trying to build a monopoly to control the production of electric car batteries? Is Elon Musk trying to corner the market and build a monopoly to control the production of electric batteries? Yep, first card. First card is the world, and that's what he is doing. He is moving around the world, building factories, putting patents on in different countries, putting patents on Tesla batteries, so that other companies cannot replicate. And that's what he is doing. He is trying to make sure that other companies cannot legally replicate the Tesla battery, to make it impossible for people to be able to replace parts without going through Tesla directly. He is trying to corner the market. He is moving his money around. I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna split this. Uh, but I want to read these cards first, because his second card is the Tower. He's going to run into a lot of trouble with this. So I'm going to ask, on top of this question, Tarot. Okay, since we got a yes on the batteries, was Elon's attempt to buy Twitter a way to make as much money as possible so that he could further his plans? Yep. Yes, his bid to buy Twitter was so that he could have as much money, so that he could, it would make him one of the most powerful men in America, even though he already is. It would put a rocket ship under him, not only making him the wealthiest man in the world, but having the controlling interest of one of the biggest soapboxes in the world. A person who wants to change, to direct the narrative. And that is what Elon's bid to buy Twitter was, so that he could direct how information was given and received on one of the biggest platforms in the world. Because Twitter is not just American, Twitter is worldwide. So the influence, the way to sway, to manipulate large populations, through a platform like that. And believe me, buying Twitter would have just been a foot in the door. Okay, it would have been a foot in the door to take over smaller communications groups. Good question, the Coolwater. Elon Musk needs to be watched. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and say, for entertainment purposes only, because God knows I have not the kind of money to fight that man. Okay, my next question is from Jasmine. Jasmine wants to know, will the United States this is a two-part question, because the first part is Jasmine would like to know, will the United States be attacked? And I'm gonna say this, will the United States be physically attacked by outside forces, i.e., somebody dropping bombs on us, or like 9/11, flying planes into cities to cause chaos? This is Jasmine's question. Will the United States be attacked by outside forces? Here we go. First card is Temperance. Second card is Death. Third card is the Magician. Fourth card is poverty. The answer is yes, Jasmine, yes. The United States is going to be attacked. Let me read you what the temperance card says. Temperance reads, economy, moderation, frugality, management, and accommodation. Okay. Um, but it's an affirmative card. And then the magician lost. Uh, this is, oh gosh, guys. Skill sickness, loss, disaster. Of course, the magician is also magic. The magician can make things happen, can change the outcome of things. But as these cards are thrown, this is skill sickness, loss, disaster. Jasmine, yes, death is will result from it, leaving a large population homeless, impoverished, uh, injured, hurt, without a place to go. Yes, where we are as a world right now, and the fact that here it is, the end of May, it is the 20th already. It will be May 1st in 10 days. We've got to see. Nothing has gotten better. Vlad has not stopped attacking the Ukraine. No other country has stepped in to stop this from happening. It seems like we are trying to fulfill prophecies that mankind is its own worst enemy, that we are allowing death and despair and doing nothing about it for fear of starting a bigger war. But we're letting an entire population of people suffer and be murdered right before our eyes. What type of protection is the EU? What type of protection is NATO if they don't protect you when you're being attacked? But the whole thing is, it's a club, and this is what we've got to see. They vote people in, they keep people out. They have kept the Ukraine out of NATO, and we have to see this for what it is. They have allowed despots to be placed in positions of power. So if you want to say the rest of the world is complicit about what is going on in the Ukraine, you would not be wrong, and you would not be overspeaking or overreaching. What we see is what is happening. What we must understand is that these people are being cowards in our name, that each one of these deaths that are occurring is occurring in our name. It's just like we're saying that's perfectly okay that Vlad goes in there and kills Ukrainians. You know, as long as we put Vladimir Zelensky on MTV game show or award shows. Think about what we do, guys. Think about what we do and what we allow, the spectacle that we have allowed the United States to turn into. We've got work to do. We've got decisions to make, choices to make. We've got rectifications that have to be brought into existence. Okay, so we got a yes on will the U.S. be attacked by outside forces? Um, I have a question on that. Will it be facilitated from the inside? My question is, will the GOP help this country be infiltrated by authoritarianism? Will the GOP is the GOP working towards giving our country away, giving our democracy to authoritarianism? Is the GOP working against America? Is the GOP working against America? And guys, the card that jumped out is the judgment card. That's a yes. Is the GOP working from inside to overthrow America? Yes. Two yeses and the devil. And what it's going to cause, what this is already causing for us. That's the final outcome, is this despair, this anxiety card. But this is what is going on right now, before our eyes. We see treason in action. We see the GOP working to give our democracy to the likes of Vladimir, you know his last name. They are working towards this end. Here's our yes. And we get the holy table. This is an undertaking. They will not stop until either they are imprisoned or dead or whatever. This is an ongoing plot. They have been working on dismantling the democracy of this country for the last 35 years. Since Ronald Reagan, actually since before Reagan, since freaking I am not a crook guy. He was the first one to start dismantling our democracy. Ronald Reagan just put bad people and just sold. He made as much money off of despots as he could. And the Republican Party loved him for it. They held him up and said he was the best president ever. Half of his cabinet went to prison. A lot of them are still in prison. These people were dismantling the United States. Remember the Iran-Contra scandal. They were selling weapons to guerrilla warfare, people who were killing Americans. That is what Ronald Reagan was doing. And the GOP loved it. They wanted more of it. They kept him there for 8 years. If they could have kept him there longer, they would have. And every election since then, they have been trying to put that same type of person in power. A person who is dumb enough. And I have to say it that way because we had George Bush and we had Donald freaking 45 drunk. Two of the most retarded people that could have ran this country ever. Two perfect pawns for authoritarianism, for smart people to manipulate and control this country. And the GOP had no problem with it. The GOP hated 45, Mr. Donald. They said they would never vote for him. But every single one of them voted for him, stayed a Republican, and is still on his side now. See with your eyes, hear with your ears. Do not fall victim of the words of these people. Watch what they're doing. Watch them. Hold them accountable. Don't fall victim to the lie. We've done that for too long. Okay? All right. My next question is from Darlene. Darlene would like to know, will Biden's poll numbers go up? And guys, please, please be aware that mainstream media is manipulating those poll numbers. Okay? And remember that this is a section of polling. You don't know who they're polling, how many people they're polling, if they're only polling Republican people, if they're only this is the problem with public polls. There's no, they can give you any number and say it was a just poll. Okay? I do online polls. Okay? I do civics polls. And every one of them and I check the algorithm to see where people are answering. And every poll that I answer on the civics queue shows that President Biden has a good standing. But then when it transfers into the news or the mainstream media, then those numbers are suspiciously lower. It really seems like they are using 45's old numbers for President Biden. This is why it is so important that you not pay attention to those poll numbers. Those poll numbers are nothing but an instrument to manipulate how you feel about something, to sway your decision making process. Those polls are a way to keep pulling your interest back down to negative every time, because they know that we think that President Biden is doing the best job that he can. We all believe that. I don't think that there's many people who think that President Biden is doing a bad job. And if you are, I need you to go review the last 4 years, okay? And then turn around and keep saying that. Those polls are a manipulation. They are a way to keep people just 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 like this. Um um Let me see. I'm trying to see who asked this question. Darlene. This just like this to keep people wondering, why are President Biden's numbers so low when the majority of us believe that he's doing a good job, because they are manipulating the numbers to keep people anxious and upset. We have to call mainstream media the monsters that they are. And it doesn't matter if they're right leaning or left leaning, they are manipulating, okay? All of us, all of us. They are manipulating us. Okay, so will President Biden's poll numbers go up? First card, we get the Empress. Second, we get the Five of Cups, looking at loss. Third card, we get the Hierophant. And the fourth card, we get making money. So this is keeping viewership. This is keeping viewership in the mainstream media. As long as they can keep people upset, as long as they can keep people out of balance, they can make money. As long as they can keep people worried, the Republican Party is going to be happy. Okay? This is what this is all about. They are keeping people low vibration, looking at a loss that may not even be a loss. Okay? They are manipulating those numbers. Don't listen to those polls. Don't put energy into those polls. They are going to move them around as they will to keep viewership, to keep people's viewed, keep them tuned in, to keep them locked in to their channels. Guys, as they lose viewership, as people wake up and realize that they are being manipulated and move away from MSNBC, CNN, Fox, OAN, and all these other great big news networks that keep popping out of the woodwork like roaches. Okay, when these people start losing revenue because they're losing viewership, watch what they will do. They will create a problem to keep people viewed. They will make you afraid. They deal in fear. What Fox News is doing, every one of those mainstream media groups is capable of doing. And believe me, when it starts to hit them in the pocket, they will do exactly what Fox News is doing to manipulate you, to get you to watch their channel. Okay? This is about money. If you're watching them, they're making money off of it. Just think about that. If you're watching them, they're making money. They are not giving you news. They are giving you propaganda. They are giving you entertainment. They are keeping you in a low vibrating resonance to control your thoughts, your minds, and your emotions. Believe that this is going on, because if you don't believe it, you're going to fall victim to it. Okay? My next question is from Jasmine. Is World War III imminent with this Russia-Ukrainian occupation? Is World War III imminent? And I'm going to shuffle these cards. Is World War III imminent? Is World War III imminent with this invasion of the Ukraine? Expect for things to get so much worse, guys. Oh my God, the word blitzkrieg is going through my mind. Just airplanes dropping bombs, dropping bombs, dropping bombs. Is World War III imminent? Yes, third card. Yes. Okay. Okay, here we go. We got the fight. We've got the fight. Everybody fighting everybody. There it is right there. Everybody fighting everybody. Here's our answer. Here's our yes. Yes. We missed the opportunity to turn this around. Our inaction is going to be what allows this to happen. Just the exact thing that happened during World War II. Our inaction caused World War II to happen. Because Hitler could have been put down many times. They are giving Vlad the same wide girth that they gave Hitler. Yes, there's lots of problems that are going to come from this. Okay, and these governments, this is government behind this because they could have stopped this at the onset. This could have been stopped. There would have been no World War III because Vlad would have been silenced. He would have been slapped upside the head and sent to his room. But the world has let him destroy an entire nation, destroy it, and continue to just murder people with no pushback. The government is allowing this to happen. The governments around the world are allowing this to happen. Okay? So, yeah, Jasmine, it is imminent. My next question is, will Le Pen win France's election? Will Le Pen, this is another Vlad's ally, another one that he handpicked. Okay, guys, you can see them, and they all look like 45. They all look alike. White blonde hair, pink skin, pink orange skin. They all look alike. 45, Le Pen, that dude in England. Come on. They all look alike. They all look like they are a part of they are all from the same messed up genome. Will Le Pen win France's election? She is a right winger, wants to pull them out of NATO. These people are doing exactly what the GOP is doing here. This is a worldwide effort, guys, and we're seeing it. What happened in the UK with Brexit, that was all Vlad's plan. That was all Vlad, and he got the people that he knew that were loyal to him to do it. He is destroying this world piece by piece. We have to see it for what it is. Will Le Pen win France's election? Here we go. First card again, we get temperance. That's a yes. Yes, and it's the first card. Oh my goodness. We get a yes on the temperance. We only got one. But the second card is smoke and mirrors, guys. Something nefarious is going on. We got money and we got the emperor. This is old Vlad over here. This is Vlad pulling some tricks. These opposition parties, guys. These opposition parties, they are not going to stop. Watch. Le Pen, Let's find out. I'm going to ask. Okay, so we got that. Yes, I'm going to ask it a different way. Is it certain? Is it certain, Tarot? I know you just answered this question. Is it certain that Le Pen will win France's election? Is this a certainty that Le Pen will win France's election? So this is a yes/no question. Is this a certainty? A yes card would mean that she is going to win. Will Le Pen win France's election? Here we go, guys. This is the rabbit hole. That was a yes/no question. Tarot gave us an unequivocal yes. We have got to take this seriously. These people are like cockroaches. They are trying to infiltrate every government in the world, cities, counties, all over. These people are trying to infiltrate the entire world to turn this in to an authoritarianism world where the rich rule and everyone else is slaves. If you cannot see it, open your eyes. France is in trouble, y'all. And this is the beginning. Oh, I missed a whole page of questions. Oh my goodness. Let me go backwards to go forward, though. My next question is from Denny. Will the U.S. sanctions on Russia, will those sanctions hurt America? Yes, they are already hurting us. This is part of why we're paying higher gas prices. This is not why we are paying higher costs at the grocery store, because that's just good old American ingenuity. That's just our big business doing what they do best, robbing us, kneeling on our necks. Will the U.S. sanctions on Russia hurt the U.S.? Here's your answer, Denny. It's hurting everyone. The rich are making money off of this. The poor are going to suffer. So we get our loss card. That's the final card, is lost. That we are just going to lose through these sanctions. Um, until we stop Russia. We have got to stop Russia. We've got to stop them. And then we can stop this nonsense. And I'm not saying the United States has to stop Russia. The world has to stop Russia. So yeah, Denny, the sanctions are hurting the U.S. The sanctions are hurting the whole world. But the sanctions are being kept going because the rich are making money. Okay, all this pain, people are getting filthy rich during a pandemic and during a war. And that should say everything that has to be said. Instead of them easing the pressures on people, they increase the pressure. So not only are people in the Ukraine are worried about walking outside and getting shot in the head, not to mention, going to the grocery store to get a head of lettuce or a head of cabbage. But this affects the entire world, and this needs to affect our entire psyche. We should, as a community, we should be disgusted as to what is going on. Um, the next question is, did any of the children who were kidnapped from the border, did any of those children wind up on Epstein's island, or part of Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein's teen prostitution ring? Did any of the kidnapped children from the southern border wind up anywhere near Epstein? Yes, First card, yes. I'm going to pull for rich people. Here's a second yes, third yes, and look whose card that is, guys. That is 45's card. He facilitated it. He gave children to Epstein. We got 3 yeses in a 4-card draw, and we got the stinky, filthy, freaking rich people. Right there is the second card. Yes. Denny, I think that was your question too. Yes, border children did wind up on Epstein's Island, wind up in child prostitution rings from 45. He stole those little girls, little boys, and sold them into sexual slavery. Yes, he did. My next question is from Juanetta, and Juanetta would like to know, will churches ever be taxed? And they should. Nobody should be exempt from paying taxes. If they benefit from taxes, they should have to contribute taxes. Okay. Will churches ever be taxed? Here we go. The first card we got is the opulence card, the 9 of Cups. The I have it all. That is filthy rich. Hey, Carol, please give me a concrete yes or no. Will churches be taxed? Yes. Churches at some point will be taxed. That's 2 yeses. Last card, heartbreak for them. Yes, churches will be taxed. Why? Because they have been allowed to become filthy rich without paying any taxes. And these are singular entities. So one man owns a mega church. One dude is making $100 million tax free. One guy, and is giving zero back to society. And that is what is going on. Yes, guys, once and I have the inkling to say this. When the worst part is over, when we get through with this war, and we haven't started the war yet, guys, understand that World War III has not started. We are on the we are on the cusp of this war beginning. When this war is over, that's when our world governments are going to change. The fight that we are about to ensue, okay? This world war, this war on consciousness, this war on awakeness, because that's what it is. The powers that are trying to draw us into the depths of despair, and those which are trying to make everybody open their eyes to see that the snakes have taken over the manor. Okay, the wolves are in the kitchen. Okay, the bad guys. The calls coming from inside the house. We are being taken over from inside. We are being manipulated and drawn down a road, a path of ruin from the inside. These people want to control us. They want to control all the money. They want to control all the resources. And this is what it is about. It is about control and about one group controlling everything. Okay? My next question is from Denny. Will Governor Tom Wolf's $2,000 stimulus packet for Pennsylvanians pass? Okay, here you go, Denny. Will Governor Tom Wolf's $2,000 stimulus pass for Pennsylvania people? Will Governor Wolf's stimulus packet pass? Yes, there's going to be a fight. We got 2 yeses on that, Denny. Yes. Okay, here's your first card. Rushing forward as if going to war. This is going to be after the second, after when COVID gets bad again, and people are out of work and people are dying. This is going to come back around. But here's your answers. Yes, because people are going to be dying, people are going to be sick, people are going to be quarantined in their houses, not being able to move, and people are going to need money for basic necessities. Yes, Denny, Governor Wolf's stimulus packet is going to pass. My last page of questions were here. My next one is from Danielle. And this is the serious one. With rents going up, the price of housing is has most people, almost all young people, priced out of moving out. Where a child could move out and become self-sufficient at the age of 18 without going to college. Those days are over. Those days are over. Will the government do something about the minimum wage? Will the government do something about the minimum wage? Let me shuffle these a little bit better, guys. Will the government do something about the minimum wage? Here we go. Will the government do something about the minimum wage? Here we go. Okay. Now, this is what I see. We get the maybe card, but the maybe card comes after the Ten of Pentacles. So what I feel is happening, I'm going to show you all. First card we get is the Empress. Okay, secrets and mystery. Talking about this, and what I feel is going to happen is they're going to raise the minimum wage, and they're going to do this in increments. They're not going to do it like Switzerland or Sweden does. To give their minimum wage is like $21, $22 an hour, guys. That is what their minimum wage is. The minimum wage is the minimum living wage that a person can make and have a living. And it doesn't matter if you work at McDonald's in Sweden. You make minimum wage. Your minimum wage is $22. Okay. America is the only one that says no. No, you can live in a cardboard box for $7.25 an hour. We don't have to give you any quality of life. And then if you're a tipped worker, we're going to even reduce your minimum wage further and say, hey, we only have to legally pay you $2.25 an hour, and force you to rely on the kindness of others to make up it's a GoFundMe. Every time you tip a waitress, that's a GoFundMe for her paycheck. Think about it that way when you're at a restaurant, and think about that poor server. Ask them how much they make. Ask them. Ask them if they're at least making minimum wage, or if they're being forced to subsist on tips. Ask them. These are the conversations that need to be held aloud. And then you can decide whether or not to to patronize that establishment if they are going to use their laborers as slaves and force them to beg for tips to survive, or even take their tips. Yeah, a lot of companies do that too. Pay them less than the minimum wage, and then take their tips. There are some shady, bad people out there. But yeah, they're gonna make little tiny changes to the minimum wage over the years. But they're going to keep people who are at the lowest tier suffering. We get obstruction, we get the tower, we get fighting, okay? And we get severity. Our government as it is not for the people, by the people. At this point, this is what we have to work for change. Yes, the minimum wage will increase, but it will not increase at a pace or at a dollar amount to keep people in any type of quality of life, at any type of quality of life. Okay. vcoolwater would like to know. Okay, he says this. The 45, one of 45 federal judges, and I'm sure everybody's heard about it right now, declared the mask mandate unconstitutional and decided to take it upon himself that he by himself can decide the fate of all of the United States. The mask mandate has been dropped by a 45 judge. vcoolwater would like to know, what are the consequences? I don't need tarot to tell me what the consequences are. I'm going to throw the cards because I already know what these cards are going to say. Prepare yourself, because with knowing that COVID has not gone away, with knowing that a full 50% of the United States is unvaccinated, we are about to revisit April 2020. We are going to have an instant freaking rewind of what happened. Okay? Prepare. All the stuff that I have been telling you guys, all the stuff that I have been asking you guys to do. Make sure you have a little extra of this. Make sure you have a little extra of that. Well, now we see how it's gonna we see how it's gonna play out, because the plug just got pulled out the bottom of the tub. The water's gonna drain out, and all the dirtiness is gonna stain the whole basin. We know what's gonna happen. We know what's gonna happen. Guys, right now, half of the states are not reporting their COVID numbers. They don't have to anymore. And most of them are just not, until it becomes a problem again, which will happen in about 6 weeks. We will be in a catastrophe. Prepare yourself. I will throw the cards. What are the ramifications of the dropping of the mask mandate? That temperance card has come up every time. Okay, we know what's coming. We know what's coming. We are going to have all our strength, all of everything. This is going to cause sadness and tears. So much pain that does not have to be. These people who are driving us into this, okay? We're going to have to be prepared to stand up against them. They're going to make their money. We got to protect ourselves. We have got to protect ourselves. The government ain't going to protect us. The fallout is going to be pain and tears. It is going to be tears. Sadness. Airline companies are just jumping up and down. Woohoo. We get to make more money for a couple weeks. Okay? This is what the GOP wants. This is what it wants. This is what Vlad wants. They're playing right into the hands of death. So you guys know what's coming. Take it upon yourself to protect yourself, because guess what's going to come with this fourth wave? Okay, a lot of your protections. You get sick with COVID and wind up in the hospital. Government ain't gonna help you. You're gonna be paying $1 million hospital bills. Think about that. $1 million hospital bills. Your safety is completely 100% in your hands. I said that before. Government has washed their hands of us. They can say things, but if we choose not to listen, they have washed their hands of this. Understand that your safety is your responsibility, and your safety is your responsibility. Act accordingly and know where we're at. It is not safe out there, guys, by any stretch of the imagination. My last question is from Darlene. Will the Dems hold the Senate and the House after the midterm? Woo, great question. Will the Dems keep the Senate and the House after midterm elections this year? Will the Democrats keep the Senate and the House after the midterm elections? Here we go. Will the Democrats keep the Senate and the House? I got no yeses. I got no yeses. I got fighting, anxiety. I got loss. We are in a dangerous place. If people think that there's some type of a fairy tale that is just going to poof magically turn and make us have a happy ending with us doing nothing, we are wrong. As the energy stand right now, we could lose the Senate and the House. As these energies stand right now, we are allowing 45 and his ilk to gain power. The longer we are allowing these GOPs to turn what we're seeing in the Ukraine into some battle cry for sovereignty for Russia, this is real. This is where we are. And there's no little gift with a popper at the end. We are our heroes. We have to change this world. We do. Not sit back and wait for somebody else to do it. Those people who are out there working need our energy. They need our love and our support. And we have got to understand that we do have the power to do that. We see people who have means, you know, Sean Penn, you know, rich people who can go overseas and fight for the cause. You know, but the ordinary everyday American doesn't have money like that. But we do have a wealth of energy within us that we can choose whom whom to energize, okay? Whom not to energize. That's why it is so important that we not give our energy to mainstream media. It feeds the beast. It feeds the beast. Every time you are worried, every time you're anxious about, oh, what is 45 doing now? Oh, when is somebody going to indict somebody? Every time you give all your energy to that, you are making them stronger. Instead of worrying about them, worry about us. You know, you want to do stuff. Send energy to encourage Mansion and Cinema to do the right thing for the United States, to stop playing politics with people's lives. Okay? Send your energy to do the things that we want done, not to the things that we don't want. We have to understand that. Don't send your energy to things you don't want. Don't think about things you don't want. Because if you're giving that thought form energy, you're feeding it, you're making it grow, you're agitating it. Don't think about negative things and people. Don't make that your focus. Because if you make them your focus, that's who you're giving your energy to. And that's a trick of the snake. Because you're thinking about it, you make it stronger. Stop thinking about the snakes. Start thinking about the heroes that need to cut the head off of the snake. Put your energy into good, not into fear, not into questioning. Put it into things that we know we can actually change. I love you guys. I love you. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Namaste.